They call a podcast Poppy. Kinkos, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
We saw something last week you don't see very often. Team loses, but the quarterback, the trigger man, Offensive Player of the Week in the AFC. That's pretty impressive.
You rarely see that. Of course, don't worry, folks. He said the obligatory, I would have traded that for a victory any day of the week.
Yeah, no doubt about it, but still, he must have played awfully well to win it when his team lost.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Tackle that time by Ronnie Harrison. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
To play running back in today's NFL, you need to be versatile, and that really defines Le'Veon Bell, because if you hand it to him, he won't turn it down. 321 carries in 2017. And if you want to throw it to him, well, they targeted him 106 times last season as well, which was second in running backs only to Christian McCaffrey. So Le'Veon Bell is a defensive nightmare when you try to figure out where he's going to be on the field to try to defend him.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. And connection number 1 there on the game, Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call him.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular, more successful Boney Tony Brown, right?
I'd say you're probably right. It may be all of that. I still call him Boney Tony. But Ben Roethlisberger calls him my number 1 target.
And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. The numbers for Bell on the ground of the game last week. 13 carries, 53 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Open man is Switzer, complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He'll get this one to Switzer. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. Washington with a catch, middle of the field. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, He's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, it's Bell. And some space here. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now Bell. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. And that's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
On 3rd and goal, Roethlisberger. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal. You did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes. You don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
So here's the first drive now for the Jags. Leading the charge is the UCF product who hails from right there in the Orlando area in Altamont Springs, Blake Bortles.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 23. A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Sunday, Sunday. Sunday, Sunday. Hey, spread left. Spread left.
They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They've got a 2nd down at 5 here to start things out. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Well, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Shotgun now for Bortles. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Lucy. Hank.
Bortles now on first down. Completes it to Moncrief left side. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Hey. You got three. Three down. Sunday.
Bortles to throw once more. Over the middle, complete. That's Paul. And he'll get it down to the play to the 37. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. On first down, Bortles. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Bortles. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there at 22. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Bortles. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck roll that they can fall back on anymore.
And Lambo will put this one through, and that will tie us at 3-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that.
been, and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going deep for Brown. And this is caught at the 20. It's a big play. Roethlisberger to Brown. 59 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the 1st half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3.
Focus, focus.
They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Bailey now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And nothing but daylight ahead. 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking out some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. And Antonio Brown yet to get back on his feet. Apparently shaking up that last play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Steelers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run for it with Bell. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they will take the lead at 13-10. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said,
and the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Morgan Burnett. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, this from 39. And Bailey able to knock it through. So we've reached halftime. Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the 3rd quarter now. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes Blake Bortles now to lead his offense back out there. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the 3rd quarter. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Joe Hayden there to bring him down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. Throwing on first down is Bortles. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Borrell's going to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
It's all right, it's all right.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Roethlisberger will throw. This one complete. Right side to McDonald. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47th. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though.
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Now Roethlisberger. Open man is Switzer complete. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Roethlisberger now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Again, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, good move. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Roethlisberger. Now being hit, and he lost the football. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
And what a job there by all 11 on the kick return. The blocking excellent, the return excellent. The result, 6 points. Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Here we go.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 36. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
A chance for us again to look at this Pittsburgh defense. And the interception the last time, their 3rd takeaway of the game, Charles.
They're just flocking to the football so well. And not only are they doing that, they're making big-time plays and taking it away from them. Big hits, big plays. They're looking very good in this ball game.
You said flocking, flying to the football. Coaches always use that, don't they?
They really do. It's almost as it goes back to the old, when they click off the frame at the end of a play, they want to see all 11 defensive guys in that picture.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles. Dumps it off to Fournette. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down. Bortles now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Bortles. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A good pickup there, a 22. Bortles now just 7 of 16 passing thus far, but he's got a 1st and 10. Again, it's Bortles. And, he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. Stephon Tuitt. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick, and it's 3rd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. On 3rd and long, it's Bortles going up top. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth. That make a play on the football.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Back now in Jacksonville. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
On 3rd down, here's Bell. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and makes creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. Hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Bortles now to throw. Left side complete. Safarian Jenkins. A very solid gain of 27. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now Bortles again. The quick slant caught. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Marquise Lee, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the wideout Antonio Brown. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Now it's Roethlisberger. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pickup there of 22. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And that'll set them back 5.
Here we go.
After the penalty, it's Bell. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And the Steelers on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He'll get this one to Switzer. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Getting set to go again, Blake Bortles marches back onto the field with his offense. He's had quite the turnaround, Charles. At the start of the game, passing game was a little bit of a mess, but he's back on the horse, so to speak.
Love seeing how someone can rebound from a slow start or a tough start. Means that they're strong mentally. They've kind of calmed themselves down. Everyone's rallied around them. Maybe they even changed game planning a little bit in order to make things better for him.
Hank.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. Looking deep downfield. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10. Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Bortles now on 1st down. Safarian Jenkins has him. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st down, Bortles. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. T.J. Watt in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Now Bortles. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 16. Bortles to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call, and you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
Now Bortles, got to have this one. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Steelers... one win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who